have a flash to open it up. We'll see how NRG adapts around it. It is the first map of a best of 3, single elimination to make it into the quarterfinals of Summer Champs.
To get started here, Teal team mounting their attacks. 4 ghosts strong. Is that shock dart? Maybe it doesn't end up where he was expecting it to go. So unfortunately, 150 credits down the drain, but Aqua does still have 1 to play with. So look to create some noise out towards B. Maybe sell a quick B, but that spike leaning over towards the A side as EU finds 1. Unfortunately for Teal team, he's not the only player on the A side as EU rotates off. Weeded holds it down, a couple of kills, and a right click over the top. The classic Mimi. It's just too strong. Now everything in the hands of Aqua as his teammates fall around him in a 1v3 situation. He's got that upgraded frenzy, but unfortunately does not have the spike.
A very tough situation to be in, but it's an excellent position. No one directly holding the flank right now, but that turret's still activated. He'll have to contend with that before he can break contact with this NRG roster, and well, the frenzy at range, it's going to be a bit tough to break the turret in a timely manner. Now he's been spotted out. NRG will adjust the way they're playing this defense, and this gets all the more difficult.
Yeah, there's the not only the turret damage, but the fall damage as well. So from 100 to 66 before even seeing a player. 2 players stacked up. Unfortunately, the frenzy, not only does he not have the shot, but does not have the penetration power, and the pistol round will go to NRG.
Yeah, I mean, NRG, it's a nice little chunk of aggression there out towards C long. They found the early frags here, courtesy of Weeded, and what do you say about that? I don't know what you're supposed to say about that, because that is just Weeded and the classic, a perfect combination. Spike was down in a really bad spot, and the turret still playing that contact out towards the site made it a very difficult clutch to be had. Save round here for Teal team. NRG actually not investing too much. 3 sheriffs, so they're trying to get a strong buy on their third.
Yeah, and that's kind of the game that was looking to be played as Weeded picks up 2. Cade's able to trade 1 back. I don't believe a weapon was retrieved. Saw him inside the nebula. Should find the next. And now it's down to just the last 2 are corralled here inside the garage. But Cade continues pushing forward. Android, I mean, what is he known for here in the Summer Champs, if not paint shell frags? Now Glyph, the last one standing. Not long for this world as a body shot would sit him down. And there it is. EU gonna find that last. As we hop on into this one, I feel like since the credits kind of shifted around, now we're going into that round 3, and the utilities, you know, more expensive, more cheap. You need to buy something that you didn't have to buy previously. I think we were, at least for me, I was always curious as to how that shakes up round 3, or if it shakes up round 3. And I think NRG has given us a really good look at what your quote-unquote bonus can be, because this is incredibly powerful.
Yeah, I mean, I think as the economy for this game develops, we might see less and less of those bonus rounds. It's MR12, so every single round does matter, and holding on to momentum can be huge. And for that reason, I love the investment from NRG. Tech's on the operator. He can be game-changing as one man, and they put a lot of trust into him because he was initially that sole defender out towards A. Because he has that tailwind, he's very safe to just leave out on an island. But talking about being on an island, it's Android pushing up. He'll find 1, and if they want to hunt for this refrag, they'll have to contend with Techs as well.
And it's a stinky island down there in sewers, but he's able to get the job done. Somebody has to do it. Android did take quite a bit of damage, and a skyless, sageless comp means that's where that raise is going to be sitting for the rest of the round. Cliff plops down a star inside garage window with a cut to vision, but the turret doing a pretty good job of maintaining that information that Weeded would not be able to get from himself. So solid utility there from the Killjoy. I mean, 40 seconds left on the clock. The frag at the beginning, and then obviously that information out towards mid-garage. It's really deterred this Teal team for now, and they've got to make a move. They do spot out Som. Deep around the box there. Able to toss up the guiding light is Larry Banks. Recon both going to be traded out. Larry going to find 1. Equal the odds. Make it another as the low HP Android still survives and still finds frags. Now Glyph, the last one standing. A nice jump peek once more. And Android for 4 to close it out for NRG.
Oh, it was such a nice attempt from Teal's team there. They were running out of time. Had to make some sort of play in desperation. But they had already given Tells. That op was still holding out towards A. The rotates were already at the C site. And well, it was a valiant effort to pick up those frags. NRG's strong investment into the 3rd round will come out on top. The economic retribution for Teal Team, it's not great. You're going to be cut down to the Sheriffs, maybe a Stinger. This likely means 4 on the trot for NRG.
Leave them right here.
How does Android do that, Mimi? How is that fair?
He's an Android.
Yeah, he is an android. The best type, the iRobot kind that kind of goes off the rails and will get stuff done with 40 health. And speaking of getting stuff done, it's Aqua this time around with the Sheriff in hand, doing his best EU impression. Speaking of, EU picks up 2, looking for more. At the very least, the spike is planted. But as are his fellow teammates, Cade gonna pick up 1 before falling, and Sam gonna make sure Glyph not long for this world. There's a couple extra shots there at the end, and the defuse tossed on over to Tex. Will net NRG their 4th. We should see Teal Team right back onto rifles here for round number 5.
What's interesting, they're actually putting more stock into this Cosmic Divide. Gonna get that ult online nice and early. It can be pretty strong for the post plan on this map, and since Haven is such a long map, you can divide everything with that one ultimate ability. Cutting the sound as well can be very impactful. But ults aside, it was a nice try by Teal Team. Just a quick hit out towards B. The goal is to get that spike down, try and play the close range with your Sheriffs, with your Stingers, but I mean, run and gun. Phantom hitting you straight through the smoke. That was perfect. I love that NRG realized that they lost someone early on. They don't want to let that weapon get recovered, and they don't want to allow Teal Team to find a strong post-plant position, because with Astra Stars, Silver Darts, and Cypher Cams, that could have gotten into a dangerous situation, but it doesn't happen. Now we find ourselves in another rifle v rifle round, and Teal Team putting some pressure out towards sewers by 3.
And Weeded just continues to get so much information. That turret getting all the value you could hope for. A couple of rounds exchanged out towards sewers, and it's only damage traded thus far, but Teal Team not able to really muster up too much. And as they look to go across the map, they might just be met by Tex and his trusty operator. As a shark dart queued up from EU, forces him out of sewers once more, and too much is showing there from Tex. The shoulder, just enough for Glyph to find that first frag.
Really unlucky for Tex there. He wasn't aware that someone could have been in that close corner and just gets completely blindsided. Up down early, but no one from Teal Team fighting to recover. You toss out that guiding light towards garage, and well, that serves as a bit of bait. They don't want to fully commit to this A rotate just yet, but they have their suspicions. Seekers are popped and the execution underway.
Weeded still holding it down. Kind of this defensive menace as the Cosmic Divide gonna cut the site in half and kind of get Teal Team away onto the site. But what can they do with it? Aqua incredibly low in health, tosses out a few shock darts of his own. Instead of getting that spike down, it looks like Teal Team want to try and fight through. As well, K3K does just that. The rest of the team will follow, and well, they meet the same fate. They all 3 die on the site, and NRG will find their 5th.
Oh, I love that so much from Sam. Just the movement plays, jumping in and out of the Cosmic Divide. He baits Teal Team into thinking that they can get an easy kill on the other side, but it was just that bait. They flash through, Bird is turned, and well, everything comes up NRG's favor. 5 in a row now. Sheriff's up for Teal Team, and I'd love to see him taking attack balls after that, after this next round. They need to slow down a little bit, work some things out, because their current kind of slow defaulty style, it's not really working. The executions are good, but NRG's just finding an opener every round, and a lot of that is Tex.
It does be the case. Maybe not in this round. Oh, tough spot to be in. Larry Banks gonna net a good frag there as Android gonna make sure that the operator goes unretrievable. It does get picked up and maybe used for this next frag. The shot goes wide. It's a couple of kills the way of EU, and now Dynamic in a tough spot of his own. And not able to escape it as EU goes on. The aggression. A 3K, a classic kill to close out the eco round for Teal Team. A near flawless. And NRG, Mimi, they're looking to have another quick day here.
Yeah, that they are. NRG, I mean, this roster, I think it's one that I underrated a little bit coming into Summer Champs. They've had some struggles. They've had some issues. On paper, this should be a roster that's succeeding, and I think we're starting to see the success that at least they should be having. Teal seem not out of this game whatsoever. It's only a 6-0 half. If you can pull this 6-6, even 5-7, becomes very winnable. You have a good comp or that defensive side, especially with the flexibility the Cypher allows, but you can't go in with nothing. And in this round, mid control again seems to be the name of the game, but as they're working mid, they've already lost control towards lobby. One satchel breaks the trip, and now they have to commit a bird and commit a drone to re-clear this space.
That never feels great. That's a pretty good feeling, though. They spot out where that operator is playing, so Tech's not going to have the element of surprise. It's 2 rounds in a row. The Jet has been spotted out early for NRG and hasn't been able to get much out of the operator early. Again, I'm going to say early just to kind of put that caveat in there because Tech's still alive. Means he can still get a whole lot of damage done, and it's a lot of noise made towards B. Previously, we saw this as a fake. And I was wondering if we see another fake, right? Because it's kind of working. No. Well, that's not working. It's a vulnerability on top of the Hunter's Fury. Picks up 3 for EU. Now Cade, the last one standing. But it's not for long. What a usage of utility from NRG to close out yet another.
Wow. I mean, we hyped you up. That was for a good reason. This guy's utility usage on the Sova is mental. A perfect ult out towards B, and that's a tilter for Teal Team, to be honest, because you get your great buy up, you play your map control for a bit, think you have the play committing out towards B, and the second that alarm bot by Weeded is triggered, the ult comes through, and what was even bigger was that they had that vulnerability debuff. So one shot from that Hunter's Fury was enough to take them down, and unfortunate round. But 7-0, another save. Dynamic does have the Blade Storm to try and get something done.
It'd be a pretty good time to get things started for the Teal Team squad. Cliff takes early damage. Tech still out towards the A site. It's 3 rounds in a row here. Expecting Teal Team at the very least to peak this way, and this might be the round that we get some early advantage via the op. As the Blades are online, they're going to land on a Tech. The op will fall, and Dynamic comes up with a huge early frag here for Teal Team.
Oh, this has just been some tough situations for Tex to be in. Falling early, multiple rounds now. But Android still has a chance to anchor this heal spray away too. The spike is down, but the trade's there. Blade Storm of Dynamic still going big, but they can't feel comfortable in this 3 versus 3 because there's a lockdown hounding them down, and well, the weapons still aren't fantastic. Some recovered, but they're forced to fully concede this control and try and reattempt with only 30 seconds left.
Yeah, and I mean, EU is just on fire today. Unfortunately, the knives get locked up as well. Dynamic will be able to fight his way forward as the detainment subsides. With somebody on the flank, needs to retrieve the spikes. He's going to go up with the updraft. Doesn't have, well, now any utility to work with as the shots continue to ring true. SoaR is there with the Odin. Accuracy by volume to close out the round. It's NRG to 8, and again, that was just an eco, but it was looking so good for Teal Team until it wasn't.
Really good lockdown by Weeded. He realized how low the time was. There was pressure up from heaven, so there was no easy way for Teal Team to plant there. They had to run all the way back main. Their only option was to put Shay, and it was made even worse by a crunch coming through by Weeded. Incredibly well played by NRG. It's 8 in a row now. Teal Team, another chance with the weapons, and if you lose this round, you're back to an eco, and that starts to look like a very unwinnable half. They're going to want to get at least 4-8, 9-3, because beyond that, the comebacks, well, you start to need a little bit of magic to make them happen.
Paint shells this time around, not going to get a frag, but they do find a bit of value. They split the team up. A bit of damage as Android continues forward with the utility. Last pack just to try and keep this Teal Team squad at bay. And, well, he goes right back to taking the fight, and he's going to win it. That seems to be the Android way, especially here in the Summer Champs, as Larry Banks is able to get one back and looking for more. Finds the damage, just not enough to sit the Rays down. And last time I counted Android out, I said, well, you know, he doesn't have a whole lot of HP. We'll see what we can get done. It was a 4K in the round. This time it's less health, but maybe just as much value as Teal Team look to set their eyes towards the C sites, and unfortunately they're running right into the operator of SoaR. Maybe unbeknownst as the shot goes wide, he splits the uprights, and Cade gonna split his grape there as we did through the smoke, able to sit one down as they look to push on. Seekers to be dissolved there as the spike will be planted. It's a 3v3 retake, and again, low HP and a nice neural theft there right at the end as Android still manages to find a kill. EU now bringing up the rear out from C long with the pinch onto the side as Weeded trades another one out, and now Dynamic, the last one standing, had a pretty solid round in the last, needs to do it again here, but it's Weeded instead. Through the smoke and on the site, Weeded for 3, NRG for 9.
NRG can just do no wrong at this point. Teal team, they had such a great opener out towards the site. The op shot is whiffed by SoaR, but regardless, Teal team not able to win it out, and it's just off these quick rotations that NRG is playing. The second Teal team is committing this, they're already getting crunched, and I mean, this scoreline, it is not looking good at all. They're even considering forcing into this round. I like it. What they need right now, what they desperately need, is stopping this NRG momentum.
Tex has not found a singular kill in this game. He's only died 4 times.
Wait, what? Wait, does Tex know Owen? Owen's a really good friend of mine.
Yeah, he does.
Knows him too.
He does appear to know Owen, and this was kind of just his look into letting you know that you guys share mutuals. This is also, we're talking about the favorites coming into this one. And the fan favorite is Teal team. 83% of you believe that Teal team will pick up Haven, and going into this one, I wouldn't have disagreed with you because they looked good against Andbox, another strong squad. But now that we're, 9 rounds, 10 rounds deep, it's looking like the 17% might come out on top. But a few more rounds to play with here. Teal team start down a player. They do still have that Hunter Shuri available, and Cade manages to find one, but just can't get much more after it as Android is right there to back up his teammate, his fellow duelist, and keep the numbers in favor of NRG.
Ooh, showstopper popped, connection found. He's knocked down low, but it's not enough to save Aqua. Now a 4 versus 2 rotates already coming through from NRG, and the damage dealt onto Glyph, but the young IGL will at least pick up 1 frag. A winnable situation, but they need this fight towards spawn. Larry Banks to take down SoaR, and the shock darts coming in. The swing from Weeded is perfect, and it's 2v1. The clutch not quite gonna happen, and NRG keep their flawless streak to 10.
And you look at that round, especially for Glyph, right there at the end. They're basically lined up for him, and unfortunately it just doesn't go his way. That right there does feel like a 50-50, even though a 2v1. But you could easily find that collateral spray down, and Android just continues to impress. I mean, what more can you even say about it, right? The ability to find the frags the way he does, especially in the utility, and then you take a peek at what he's done, basically with no health for a lot of the rounds that he's found multi-kills, and you just throw your hands up, right? You're just like, okay, well, there's just no beating this guy.
10-0, still that score line. NRG, 2 anchoring towards this A site. It's Weeded and Android. And Android, you don't really want to fight this guy. They're a little bit afraid to fully commit to that fight. Some util used, but Android will escape without taking any damage. A nade for a bit more control towards long. The pressure that NRG is applying is fantastic. They've really shut down this play. And hey, Tex, welcome to the server. First frag for the Jet, and it's the Astra to fall. A huge pickup for NRG.
Familiar with Owen for too long now. An acquaintance of Juan as he finds his first. Larry Banks able to get one onto the side. Aqua used that Hunter Shuri to get one as well. We did always good for his trusty 1 kill on the side. As Dynamic dancing around the box at the A site. Will find the head of EU. Now looking to find the head of SoaR. The hop around the corner comes through. The Radiant boxes, they're wall bangable, but unfortunately that Odin not long for this world. Now Tex needs to get up and do a bit more than he's done for the game and is not able to do it. Teal team have managed to sneak away around as they look to fight for a 10-2 half.
10-2, it's something. It is at least something. These are huge frags from Dynamic. I think he was just full sprint during that first headshot, so maybe the gods over at Riot were thinking, hey, we'll give him a little treat. We will give him that one. But generally well played by Teal team. NRG, they wanted to keep that pressure up. You saw SoaR jumping in with the Odin to try and find the wall bang. Didn't quite happen, and that makes it a tough spot for Tex to be in. He wasn't quite able to come out in the clutch, but look at this aggression. Flashes pop, so is the Hunter's Fury. EU for 1, it's an anime battle, and Larry Banks will shut down Tex. Bladestorm offline, but man advantage for Teal team. EU trying to even the odds, but he'll be forced back by the Seekers.
And a great start here for Teal Team. One of the very few times we've seen them in a favorable position, especially early in the round. As Larry Banks kind of robs us of that anime battle. I don't know if the knives are still online. Or if that is just bugged up after that right click. But either way, there's another ultimate coming on through. SoaR tries to push through it. Unfortunately, has to answer to K3K, who's been solid for one in just about every single round. And we did. Meets the same fate. Make it 2 for K3K as EU. Last one standing. We saw him king clutch previously, and well, he's looking to do it here again.
No.
Through the wall. He needs the ace, Mimi. And he's trying to fight for the best half that NRG can get. It would be 11-1 as the dart goes through. He cannot re-equip. It's 10-2 at the half. It looks grim. And after this break, we'll see if Teal Team can bring it back. Right back into the action as Teal Team were able to squeeze out 2 rounds at the end of the first half. And we'll see if they can get the 2 free rounds here at the beginning of the second. And I say free, but you know what I mean. The pistol round, the anti-eco round. Let's see if they can string them together right here, Mimi.
Yeah, and NRG has been really good on the pistols. We saw it yesterday, and we saw it early on today, and that's why. Because Android has a Sheriff, and he is eviscerating. Tex joining in. 2 early frags. Now the B site open for business.
Wow. Yeah, I spoke way too soon. Obviously, this pistol round is never free, but I mean, you have to start paying to try and get into this one if your Teal seems now in a 1v3 situation. We just hopping around the run and gun too strong as the spike is planted. Aqua needs to get in and find the defuse. Has no utility to work with, at the very least, for the next 8 seconds. As that Recon bolt still on cooldown. The spike ticks away. He's got the angle. Maybe spots out Android there, and he does. Finds the shot. It's 3 on the round for Aqua. Now a Recon bolt to try and push back into the site, but he's running out of time. Gonna have to go halfway on this one, but the gravity well just won't allow it. SoaR gonna go down, maybe with another star. The 360 around the corner. The first shot misses. The next one lands, and NRG land in the win column once more.
SoaR is just b-hopping around every corner this game. We saw it through the Cosmic Divide there with the circle jumps. Here we get the nice little 360 pow-pow phase-up moment out of SoaR. It's an 11-2 scoreline. That was the round Teal Team desperately needed. Doesn't happen. Now they're all but forced into this force buy round. And even if they take substantial damage while winning it, it still gets super dire. They need this one, and they need it quite cleanly.
Yeah, that's I think the biggest thing is you need to go flawless or near flawless in this round if you're Teal Team. or else you're going to be rocking stingers quite a bit. And unfortunately, it's off to a rough start. You're going to find the first. On to Dynamic, a Recon bolt to make sure nobody pushes out towards long. And the footsteps are heard, so Teal Team are privy to the players out towards A. But they've only got 2 inside sewers, and well, both of them have been spotted out. Weeda going to take one down. Saw him with the running gun forward. The classic, nope, make it the Spectre of Android just behind his teammate. And well, it cuts Teal Team down to the last 2. And we said it needs to be flawless or near flawless, Mimi. We meant Teal Team, but NRG heard us, and they said, okay, well, we'll see how we can do it.
Oh, the confidence. NRG is just trying to run it in towards spawn and take these fights, but this might have opened the door for Teal Team to win this. The only healthy player is on Teal Team. Ooh, spam towards help, just a bit wide. All members of NRG knocked down to near 1 HP, but the time is ticking. The time does favor them, and so does the utility. Aster Stars to work with, Aqua to find EU. Last 2 tucked in towards the sewer side, and a gun is recovered, but it falls to Cade with the Spectre. No pull coming out just yet. The swing needs to happen, and Sam will fall. Cade 3K, he finds 4, and he saves the round for Teal Team.
He saves the round for Teal Team. Fortunately for Aqua, somebody on the side of NRG bought up the Vandal there. I think it was EU actually at the start of the round getting the kill with the Vandal. So it's one, I guess, weapon that you would hope to have there coming into this next round. But I guess I kind of cast or cursed it. You kind of cast or blessed it, right? We talked about Teal Team needing to win. We thought it was going to go flawless in the way of NRG. Teal Team battle back. But just like you pointed out previously, it's still rough. You still have a stinger in the hands of Larry Banks. You got a couple of rifles, which feels pretty good. But NRG here on the attacking side, 4 stingers strong, a sheriff in the hands of EU. I mean, that is a very scary arsenal, especially when NRG at this point, they really have nothing to lose. You're up 8 rounds now.
Now that you are, they're just trying to go in nice and quick here. Aqua holding the recovered Vandal does well for 2 frags. Nade is good, and it'll help to convert Larry Banks, but Aqua's still here. The shaky aim not enough to find the frag, and now this might just be force by because we've fallen to a 3 versus 3, and EU is already privy of Dynamic's flank. Needs to find this duel, but instead it'll end a stalemate.
You should run.
And lockdown used from Weeded as well to just knock some more time off the spike clock here as Cade pushes through. Will answer the lockdown, but unfortunately still has EU to worry about on the site. Neural theft available as Dynamic trades it back. Now it's Android, it's Dynamic, it's the 1v1, but it's Android for 4 on the round, pushing NRG to map point.
Oh, and Android just doesn't lose those. This guy is inhuman, and he's currently sitting at a 3.0 KD. So many clutch situations. Android always seeming to come out on top, and I love the movement that we see out of him. His raise is so crisp, up top of that box, finds the first frag, repositions to find another. He's a very fluid player, and it worked perfectly in that round. Teal Team needed that, and now what could be the last round of the map, the buy is, it's not good.
It's rough. I mean, it's been questionable for the last couple of rounds, and they've managed to win one and almost get the next. So we'll see what they can find here as Android tosses out the showstopper. Not going to find much as the A site completely clear of any Teal Team members. That spike will be planted, no, delayed by the Hunter's Fury. Aqua hanging on to that one for a good bit of time. Looking to clear out all the plant spots now, right back to the default position as the Trailblazer looks for the information. And only a bit garnered. The drone up towards heaven, and the post-plant positions have been set. As SoaR sprays down 2 inside the cloud.